Before addressing the Ambedkar topic, I want to address the issue of discrimination. Everyone says that people of lower caste were discriminated. Firstly, there is no written evidence of that. Not even the Muslim rulers wrote anything like that. Secondly, everybody is a victim in our country. As I explained in my Tipu's video, lakhs of Brahmins were brutally killed by him. Like him, many other rulers killed Brahmins. Why don't you people say that Brahmins were victims? Because it doesn't suit your propaganda. Even Kshatriyas and Vaishyas were killed in large numbers. But yes, when Britishers were able to brainwash people, these so-called upper caste people started discriminating. People started tagging themselves to certain castes. And during the pre-independence era, the discrimination towards Shudras were very high. The Shudra which I am talking about here is the caste-based Shudras, not the Varna-based. There are few people who made Shudras sit on the floor while they sit on a raised level. There were almost no opportunities for Shudras to study and excel in their life. If the water was touched by a Shudra, the so-called upper caste people will not even drink that water. Yes, this happened. But linking this to our culture, Vedas, Upanishads and other holy scriptures is a pure propaganda and stupidity, nothing else. When Ambedkar did that, he burnt Manusmriti. You understand what kind of a person he is?
Hey, you stupid. What is your qualification to call him an idiot? Ambedkar had many degrees. How dare you question his credibility?
I agree that he has so many degrees, he was highly educated and I'll never ever reach his level in his field, but according to your bullshit logic, if Sachin is the best batsman in the world, will he become eligible to coach the Indian football team as well? Sachin is a master in batting, but that doesn't make him a master in football, right? Similarly, Ambedkar was a master in his field. There was nobody like him, but that doesn't make him a master in Manusmriti and Vedas. All he did was reading the fake translations done by Max Muller.
What's the proof? Simply don't say anything what comes to your mouth.
I'll provide every single detail from Ambedkar's own book, Who Were the Shudras. Firstly, let's make this very clear that he didn't know Sanskrit. He himself has written that. On page number 5, he wrote that, if the warning for the reason that I cannot claim mastery over the Sanskrit language, I admit this deficiency, but I do not see why it should disqualify me altogether from operating in this field. There is a very little of literature in the Sanskrit language which is not available in English. The want of knowledge of Sanskrit need not therefore be a bar to my handling a theme such as the present. For I venture to say that the study of blah 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 15 years nonsense with sufficient degree of competence for the task. Okay. Ambedkar ji, sorry to say that if you read bullshit translations for 15 years which was done by a foreigner, your knowledge won't increase. You eventually become a part of their propaganda. This is a serious lacking in qualification to write the constitution of Bharat. Okay, one more example. Harsha Bhogle has seen cricket game for past 20-30 years. He has done many commentaries. He is a famous commentator for many people. But will that qualify him to become a coach? He needs to learn the game right. Similarly, Ambedkar should have learned Sanskrit. He instead relied on Max Muller. The problem with Ambedkar was he read half-truth and all his followers believed in his half-truths. But I won't blame Ambedkar for that. People from lower caste had no opportunities of learning Sanskrit at that time. The discrimination was so high. The so-called upper caste people treated the lower caste almost like slaves. But this doesn't give him the license to propagate his false knowledge and write books on the false assumptions. Just search how many times he has taken reference from Max Muller. Here it is, more than 20 times. I'll burst Ambedkar's half-truths from his own book. Only one reference is enough. Let's go to the end of the page 14 and the starting of page 15. He wrote this. To take a few illustrations of this propaganda in support of the Purusha Sukta, reference may be made to the Apastamba Dharma Sutra and the Vasishta Dharma Sutra. The Apastamba Dharma Sutra states there are 4 castes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. Among these, each preceding caste is superior by birth to the one following. This is half-truth. This is what happens when you don't know about the subject but start writing. Let's open Apastamba Dharma Sutra. Firstly, sutras are not slokas, okay? It's different. The sutra which he quoted was the 4th and 5th sutra, and the meaning which he quoted is absolutely correct, but he was so brainwashed from half-truth that he missed the sutras from 14 to 18. We had these beautiful systems in the ancient days. From whom a student learns about dharmas is called Acharya. He should not be insulted because he gives birth through knowledge, and that birth through knowledge is the ultimate. Parents give birth only to their body, but it is always the guru who helps the person to transform and become a dvija. So superiority by birth in the 5th sutra means birth due to knowledge. Ambedkarji failed to understand the concept of Dvijas even after reading the translated versions for 15 long years. Doesn't matter how long, if you're not soaked into spirituality, how the hell can you understand these things? Not your fault, Ambedkarji. You read the bullshit translations which were meant to divide Bharat. The whole divide in the society started when they failed to understand the meaning of the word Dvijas. They failed to get the concept of reborn, enlightenment. Please watch the first part to understand more about Dvijas. Only a person who is soaked in spirituality can understand these things. The whole divide in the society started when they failed to understand the meaning of Dvijas. Britain-funded propagandist translators did this to create a divide between us, and we fell into the trap. I think I've proved enough why Ambedkar tore Manusmriti.